Yo, what is good, YouTube, and welcome back to another JC2K video. In today's video, we're going to be talking about the change that is about to happen. I am almost certain in NBA 2K24 MyTEAM, and I am not certain as I release this video whether this is going to happen this week or next or the week after, but we're going to see it very, very soon, and I would not be surprised if it were to happen even this week, but probably my guess is starting next week, we're going to start to see this shift that I'm going to talk about in this video that I think is going to be game-changing in NBA 2K24 MyTEAM. Before we hop into the video and talk about what is about to happen based on all the things that have been happening in my team, if you haven't already, make sure you hit that subscribe button. Help me push towards the 17,000 subscriber mark on the channel. I upload every single day. I would really appreciate it if y'all do subscribe. And without further ado, the change that is about to happen, I am almost certain, due to the fact of everybody now having, not everybody, but most people who play Unlimited and play the online modes, consistently have pretty much close to the best team in the game. Now with this Paul George mistake that happened a couple days ago, many people got every single card in the game for free. It's created a game that is just in a very, very weird state right now, which I think is something that a lot of y'all would agree is currently happening, is that we're in a very, very weird, I guess, sort of limbo with this. I'm going to open these cards, by the way, that I've been grading: D-Rob, Zion, and JR. I'm selling Zion and JR. D-Rob not selling yet, but at some point he will wind up getting sold as well, but I'm hoping for some good grades. D-Rob gets an 8. That could be worse. I'll hold on to that for now, to be honest. Zion and JR both got a 7 the first time, and Zion gets another freaking 7, so oh my, there is no way I just got 2 more 7s. That is so garbage. Okay, well, that is what it is. I think I'm just going to regrade them anyway, but as I'm saying, I just think, I don't know, man. What is probably about to happen, because of the fact that now most people have every single card, the game is kind of devolved into a bit of a mess. What I'm kind of expecting will now probably happen is going to be the cards are going to start to get, number one, sped up releases, but number two, they're changed SIGs. SIGs and releases are going to become a very, very big thing. We have not really gotten to that point yet this year. Obviously, SIGs are very important still, but there aren't very many cards with like glitched good SIGs in my team right now. I think that's about to be something that happens. I know pacing has been talked about how it's slower this year and all that. It isn't really at the end of the day. I mean, it started off slower, but with all the souped up cards that we're getting right now, especially with the ability to get all these extra Hall of Fame badges, you could make the argument that pacing is worse than it's ever been, especially with the Hall of Fame badges. And that is something that I will touch on, as well as how those Hall of Fame badges are going to affect some things at some point as well. But first things first, animations started changing last year. I can pinpoint exactly when it started to happen in full force, and it was January 20th, which was the Cosmic set that we got last year that dropped Galaxy Opal Yao, who's obviously a game-changing card, in addition to Kawhi and Ja Morant. This set right here is when animations started to get changed. Yao was obviously absolutely insane, but Kawhi Leonard went from not having MJ dribble style to now having MJ dribble style. For example, if you come back and look at this card, he had normal dribble style. His release was on normal. On this card, he now has his release on quick, and he has MJ dribble style. So he got a big SIG change that made him a lot more viable and a lot more good. Same thing, I do believe, with Ja Morant. I think he also got himself a SIG change, and his release is on quick. Actually, I think his dribble styles stay the same. But we saw this shift start to happen in January last year, right after these cards came out. Galaxy Opal E came out, and he had a pretty good, very, very good release that was also on quick with a good dribble style at the forward. He was kind of a little bit of a game-changing card at the 4, and it just created, I think, a transition in the game. Obviously, Yao in of himself was a huge transition in the game, as he, I'm sure, will be again this year at some point, simply because Yao is just the way he is as an impactful card in my team. And he could also be coming anytime. I mean, with the Lunar New Year coming at some point, I do expect there's a good chance that we get a very good Yao Ming, kind of similarly to last year, because he will make them a lot of money. That's a card that would make a lot of sense as well to come at some point that could really be game-changing. I hope he doesn't come, at least not good, for a while, and we don't get a good version of Yao for a while. But I think animation changes are coming, and I think they're coming soon, because 2K has to release new cards, and better cards specifically, not just new cards, but better cards cards so that people will spend money again, because people now have every single card in the game, so they have no incentive to spend money on the cards that are out unless they become new game-changing options. And I think we're at that point where that's about to happen with some improved SIGs, with cards getting better dribble styles, releases on quick, maybe some other SIG and animation changes. I'm not expecting we're going to get to in-game levels this early, and I certainly hope we don't get to in-game levels this early. But at the same time, I do think some animation changes, number one, could help the gameplay a little bit, make it a little bit more fun, with certain dribble SIGs being on more cards and able to combo up better, 3-hunt better, all that type of stuff, improved releases. Those types of things certainly wouldn't hurt in my opinion. But the other huge shift that is about to come, I think, and this is something that I will say is not going to affect everybody, but it is going to matter in certain areas, is I think we're about to start seeing every single card, or most cards, be able to get every badge. That will probably happen within the next, I don't know, month or so. And I mean, I look at my badges, for example, and a lot of people have badges looking pretty similarly to mine. They have 2, 3, 4, 5 of each Hall of Fame badges because they bought a bunch of Hall of Fame badges. Like I bought, what, 4 or 5 sets of all the Hall of Fame badges between the ones that were available with MT and the ones that were available with VC. So I have a crap ton of Hall of Fame badges still sitting in my account. What that enables me to do is cards that are going to be able to get every badge. Like, for example, this happened last year, January 27th, actually, the week after the Yao set came out, was the Cosmic set. And it was this set right here with Vince Carter and Dirk and James Harden. This was a pretty game-changing set as well, because all 3 of these guys were absolutely exceptional, and all 3 of them could get every badge. So it's going to give you the ability to put a lot more Hall of Fame badges on cards, and while that isn't going to affect the auction house this year, that does mean that if we were to get a, for example, point guard Luka Doncic with a new release and improved SIGs, and he gets every single badge, all of a sudden you could have an absolutely incredible, like, game-changing level point guard with 40 Hall of Fame badges who's just absolutely next level. I think we're going to potentially start to see some of those cards, because if we get one of those game-changing SIG animation changed cards or improved cards, and then you can add a ton of extra Hall of Fame badges on it, it's just going to create, I think, a new meta of the game and a new stage of the game. And I do believe we are currently right on the cusp of that happening, especially now with all of the drama and the fiasco that has happened again with this Paul George situation, and then 2K's lack of response. Now, I will say, this could be, to a certain extent, a little bit of false alarm. I might be making this video a little bit early. I would not be totally shocked if it does take another week or 2 before we start to see some of these changes. But I just want to say, 2K knows they have to drop stuff to get people to spend money. They have to. They got to find a way, and people are going to spend money on great cards with better SIGs and better stuff. They're just going to, plain and simple. I don't encourage it, but I know I am as a content creator, as I just dropped my controller. That was nice. But, I mean, 2K has to do something, and I feel like it's going to happen sooner than later, additionally because of the fiasco that happened. And so I'm very intrigued to see what happens with that, but I would not be shocked with a game-changing card coming out soon in some capacity. A few game-changing cards, starting to see more cards with the ability to get every single badge and improved SIGs and all that type of stuff. That will come, and that is going to change this game for sure, because even the very best cards in the game right now add a lot of positions and in a lot of situations. For example, Devin Booker. I mean, when you look at this Devin Booker card, if you consider him the best point guard in the game, that's great. I'm looking at 2K23, not 2K24. That is a mistake. But if you're looking at this D-Book and you think he's the best point guard in the game, I mean, I think I probably would agree with you, but he's a very mediocre defender. He's not huge at 6'5". He doesn't have insane shot creation really ability outside of the D-Book push cross. The rest of his SIGs actually aren't that good. And his release itself is also not amazing. So as a whole, I would say, his release as a whole is amazing. His release is very good. His fade is the best fade in the game. But his movement is not amazing. And he's not like an insane level slasher either. No precision dunker, no posterizer, no bulldozer. Like, he's not insanely fast. Playmaking badges are very good, but not next level incredible. Like, I think if we see a card kind of like this that has some glitchy animations, but they have a couple better animations, maybe a better release, and have the ability to get every single badge, those types of cards have the potential to change this game, and I feel like we're due for 1 or 2 of those types of guys coming. That's going to be really a game changer, because Kobe, to a certain extent, kind of is that card, and Kobe is dominant. I mean, I do believe Kobe is honestly the best card in the game right now. As good as Wemby is, I think Kobe's the best card in the game right now. But I think we're looking very possible to get a guy kind of like Kobe, but maybe with even more glitchy dribble animations. And again, the ability to get every single badge, potentially more size at their respective position. Like, we're due. Something's coming soon. I don't know what it's going to be, but I'm certainly intrigued to see what happens. And y'all should be prepared for sure, because something's going to happen. It has to. We just do. It has to happen, especially with what has been happening. So that is going to do it for this video. Hope y'all did enjoy. If you did, make sure you hit that like button, leave a comment, and subscribe. I'll be back with more 2K content very, very soon. I appreciate y'all. Peace.